get into this craziness. So the internet has been trying to figure some things out. Now there's a rumor going around that's alleging that T.I. is not King's dad, that his father...
Look at them, y'all. It looked like Benny spit this boy out. Tiny, you got some explaining to do.
Stop talking to me. This ain't your restaurant. This ain't your restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
Y'all, the rumors are starting with T.I. The rumors are starting with T.I. It's coming out that King is not his...
Something explosive is bubbling in Atlanta, and the whispers aren't slowing down. They're getting louder by the minute. The Harris family, once seen as hip-hop royalty and reality TV's golden empire, is now crumbling in plain sight. What used to be a picture-perfect dynasty has turned into chaos, and the center of the storm is none other than King Harris himself. His arrest wasn't the real shock. People been expecting him to slip. What really blew minds was how he came out swinging afterwards. Instead of laying low, King doubled down shouting, "F the police, F12, like he's out here in the trenches. Folks online were quick to remind him, King, you grew up rich, bro. What are you even rebelling against? That so-called perfect family image? Finished. Those glossy magazine portraits of unity have been shredded and replaced with viral fights, messy leaks, and rumors so wild they sound ripped straight out of a soap opera. King Harris, once groomed to take over T.I.'s throne, tossed the script in the fire and walked away from the fairy tale. He's not just spitting bars anymore. He's lobbing grenades at the family name. Some say he just needs space to figure himself out, while others claim this is the moment he's finally showing the world who he really is. But the real firestorm comes from what's being whispered behind closed doors. Family mistreatment, hidden grudges, and even the darkest rumor of them all. Who's really King's father? If those whispers turn out to be true, the fallout could destroy everything the Harris family built over decades, and it'll happen right in front of the world's eyes. This ain't no teenage meltdown. This is years of rebellion boiling over, a storm fueled by old scars and grudges that never healed. You don't just shake off that meltdown at the Atlanta Falcons game. No way. That wasn't some staged publicity stunt. That was years of family pressure blowing up in front of the entire world. Phones were up, live streams rolling, and suddenly the Harris family's luxury suite turned into a full-blown battlefield for millions to watch. King was standing chest out screaming that he stands on business, daring his own father to shut him down. And there was T.I., the man who branded himself the King of the South, desperately trying to hold his crown together while his empire cracked right under him. But this wasn't no playful father and son back and forth. This was raw, unfiltered family chaos gone viral. The cameras caught just enough to make it ugly. T.I.'s face red with rage as he locked King in a headlock, King shouting, "Get off me," while Tip barked back, "You're embarrassing yourself and your family." It was explosive, messy, and impossible to spin as anything but a disaster. Then Tiny, trying to play peacemaker, ended up throwing gasoline on the fire. Out of nowhere, she blasted her own son in front of millions, saying he sucked on a pacifier until he was 12. Was that a low blow at King? Or a jab at T.I. for how he raised him? Either way, the internet went wild with that one. And King wasn't about to let it slide. He fired back with his own bombshell, claiming he never even lived that glamorous mansion life people saw on TV. Instead, he said he was raised with his grandmother, shutting down the Silver Spoon label and painting himself as someone who had it rough while the cameras told a different story.
You can't lose it. I know you. You capping. I know you. I know you. I know you. Shut up. Shut up. I know you. Ain't no mystery about him. I know you though. I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business. You know I stand on business. Why you even letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me? No, ain't no joking. Ain't no joking. What do you mean?
You are embarrassing yourself and the family. You embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. Man, what is she talking about?
Get off me. Man, get off me.
Well, you can't do nothing with me. Ain't you can do with me.
You're upset. You're mad. You can't lose it. I know you. You capping. I know you
Ain't no
though.
mystery in my history.
I know you though.
Man,
I know
get
you
your
though.
fat ass
I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business. You know I stand on business. Why you even letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me? No, ain't no joking. Ain't no joking. What do you mean?
You are embarrassing yourself and your family. You embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. Man, what is she talking
Man, get
about?
off me.
Bruh,
Man, get off me.
well, you can't do nothing with me. Ain't you can do with me.
The Harris family fairy tale shattered forever, and King is making sure the cracks stay wide open. Fans thought they were tuned into a fairy tale. Mansion's reality show glam, the first family of Atlanta hip-hop living picture perfect. But behind those gated community smiles, King was telling a whole different story. One full of mistreatment, isolation, and feeling like the outcast in his own home. Suddenly, all those angry rants, bitter verses, and viral outbursts hit different. They weren't just random tantrums, they were warnings. King wasn't just wilding out. He was signaling that something toxic had been rotting behind closed doors for years. And then came the twist that sent the rumor mill into a frenzy. Whispers that King went behind T.I.'s back and secretly took a paternity test. That's not rebellion, that's a nuclear bomb waiting to detonate after years of gossip about who his real father might be. The timelines are messy, the whispers even messier, but what people are saying is that King was fed up with speculation and decided to hunt for the truth himself. Was he really T.I.'s blood, or had the world been fed a lie? No one close to the family is daring to go on record, but the tension is electric. King's anger doesn't look like a spoiled kid's tantrum anymore. It looks like the rage of someone who believes his whole life story might have been rewritten without his say-so. Every heated Instagram live, every fight with T.I., every explosive post suddenly feels way darker, like puzzle pieces falling into place. If those whispers about a secret DNA test are true, and if the results don't line up with the Harris family's narrative, then this isn't some petty father-son spat. This is a scandal that could collapse Atlanta's hip-hop royal house and send shockwaves through the entire rap game. And the internet? Oh, they ate it up instantly. TikTok turned this into a conspiracy storm overnight, feeding off the Harris family's drama like sharks in bloodied water. Theories started spiraling so fast, it wasn't just blogs fanning the flames. Daytime talk shows jumped in, dissecting the drama like it was a soap opera. Some claimed King might not be T.I.'s son at all, hinting at some hidden arrangement that reality TV execs would sell their souls to script. But the most outrageous rumor, that King's real mother isn't even the woman everyone believes? According to the whispers, he's actually the child of Tiny's alleged secret daughter, a supposed skeleton from Tiny's past that, if true, would redraw the entire Harris family tree like a scandalous plot twist. What was once celebrated as hip-hop royalty is now looking more like a messy mystery novel with branches cut off, names erased, and family secrets buried deep in the shadows. Crazy? Absolutely. But when has that ever stopped the internet from running wild with it? The juicier the rumor, the faster it spreads. And now even insiders closest to the family are keeping their mouths shut, scared of getting dragged into the storm. Tiny tried to slam the brakes on the gossip, hopping online to flat out call the DNA whispers lies you read. Meanwhile, Zonique, King's sister, fired back with her own clap demanding, what street did this word even come off of? Cute defense, sure, but let's keep it real. Once the internet grabs a rumor, there's no putting it back in the box. You can't unring that bell, and now the Harris family name is echoing through the mess louder than ever. Public opinion doesn't come with a delete button, and that's exactly why this one cuts so deep. For years, the Harrises sold themselves as hip-hop's first family, feeding us the dream like it was gospel. Platinum plaques, Grammy nods, VH1 spinoffs, and kids with picture-perfect smiles plastered all over Instagram. It was the ultimate brand. We saw them cooking in luxury kitchens, hosting picture-perfect barbecues, and gliding down red carpets like a modern-day dynasty that had it all. 7 kids, all neatly packaged in a TV bow, selling the fantasy that fame and family values could actually live under the same roof. But that fantasy, long gone. The glossy veneer has cracked, and now the scandals are spilling faster than spilled champagne at a VIP party. And King. He's not the only Harris making the wrong kind of headlines, but he's definitely the epicenter of the storm. The chaos follows him everywhere. Busted in Georgia after a late-night traffic stop, allegedly with a firearm. Instead of ducking out the spotlight and laying low, he jumped straight on social media bragging that he still got his chain. Like this is some kind of victory lap, not a mugshot moment. That's not the same smiling TV son people grew up watching on family-friendly episodes. This is a young man unraveling live, in real time, every slip magnified, every clash with his father amplified, while the world watches with popcorn in hand, ready to meme his downfall. The Harrises built the brand on unity and perfection, but the dynasty is now playing out like a reality show with no script, no filter, and no happy ending in sight. And let's not forget, the Harris family been fighting scandals long before King's meltdown turned into a viral circus.
What we not gonna do is open up the door to my bedroom, as you shouldn't have to either. Open up the door to my bedroom for everybody to come in and chime in and make their opinions about what we do and don't do or should or shouldn't do. But I will say this, whatever we ever have done has been done with consensual adults.
This ain't new. Those ugly headlines have been circling for years, resurfacing like ghosts that refuse to stay buried. Allegations of misconduct, trafficking, and wild behavior have haunted the family's image, and now it feels like all those skeletons are crawling back out the closet at once. At the center of the storm, Sabrina Peterson, the ex-friend turned relentless accuser who swears she's been holding receipts this whole time. She's been warning for years that she'd spill everything, and now she's not just aiming at T.I. and Tiny, she's dragging King into the mess too. Sabrina even claims she protected him from fallout before, daring the world to finally believe her side of the story. Meanwhile, T.I. is trying to play it cool on Instagram, brushing off the rumors, telling fans to stop spreading lies and focus on positivity. But behind the scenes, the whispers about federal investigators circling won't die down. Sabrina added fuel herself, posting cryptically, "The truth is on my birthday that the feds already have this. I think the fans need it. That's not just smoke. That's a full-blown storm cloud hanging over Atlanta's so-called royal family." And still, T.I. keeps trying to flip the script. As the feud with King spirals hotter, he's still out here smiling for cameras, even plugging his son's music like nothing's wrong. After the infamous Falcons game blow up, he even told the internet the Harris family is tied like a knot. We're all we have for life. Nice words, sure, but the public isn't buying it. Not when every single week drops another leak, another rumor, another viral video showing the dynasty unraveling in real time. King's outburst isn't happening in a vacuum. It's the latest chapter in a saga where every dirty secret is clawing its way to the surface. This ain't looking like simple youthful rebellion anymore. It's starting to feel like the cracks in a dynasty that might not survive the pressure. The Harris family once wore the crown of hip-hop royalty, but right now that crown is slipping fast. The image of a great family man, the carefully blended household, the proud father holding it all together. That picture-perfect narrative is falling apart in real time, and the world is watching every second of it. What we're really seeing is a public plea from King, a demand to be heard, a demand to be seen. He's forcing the world to look at the secrets the grown-ups tried to bury, ripping the lid off the family brand, and dragging it all into the spotlight. And at this point, the spectacle is too big to sweep under the rug. The dynasty isn't just wobbling, it's cracking open in front of millions. And the questions won't stop pouring in. Is this paternity twist just the opening act? Could Atlanta's so-called royal family really be built on half-truths and cover-ups? Every whisper, every TikTok theory, every throwback family photo is suddenly being re-examined like it's a clue in some unscripted mystery that reality TV would never dare to touch. Meanwhile, King refuses to bow down, not to T.I., not to Tiny, not to anybody. He's standing his ground, swinging at shadows and dragging skeletons out the family closet for the whole internet to dissect. And now, fans are left with one chilling question echoing through every comment section, every live stream, every viral clip. What else is King hiding? And just how deep does this rabbit hole go? This isn't just some spoiled kid lashing out. This is a young man clawing his way out of a family brand that never felt like his in the first place. King Harris isn't just breaking away. He's shredding the playbook, tossing it in flames, and rewriting himself in real time, one reckless post at a time, And his whole energy right now, straight rebellion. He's leaning heavy into the prodigal son role, ditching the Harris golden boy image for something raw, jagged, and unpolished. His Instagram feed tells the story better than words. Boxing gloves hanging like trophies, fits so loud they scream for attention, and captions sharp enough to cut glass. It's wild, messy, and impossible to ignore. Scroll 1 second and boom, there's King refusing to be background noise. That polished TV version of him, the smiling camera-ready son, is gone for good. In his place stands a 20-year-old carving his own lane with zero apologies. He's dropping rap singles, spitting lines that drip with defiance, mocking the silver spoon tag people try to hang on him, and making it crystal clear. He doesn't want to live in T.I.'s shadow, whether that shadow comes with prestige or scandal. King Harris is done being the family's poster child. He's building his own brand out of the chaos, and he doesn't care who gets scorched in the process. But escaping a name like Harris, that's a battle no stage, no song, no Instagram live can cover up. Every time King tries to break free and carve his own path, the headlines drag him right back into the circus. His Georgia arrest, the infamous Falcons game meltdown, every slip becomes another headline tying him to the dynasty he's been desperate to outrun. And the wildest part? It's not just the blogs chasing him, it's his own family firing shots too. For every rant King drops about being misunderstood, there's Tiny or Zonique logging on to clap back, swearing the rumors are fake, defending the family brand like their reputation depends on it. But the harder King pulls away, the tighter the Harris legacy seems to grip him, swallowing him whole, trapping him between sky-high expectations and non-stop scandal with no way out. Peel back the flashy headlines though, and King's chaos stops looking like a PR disaster and starts feeling like real scars. This isn't just about viral tantrums or TikTok theories. It's about a young man who swears he wasn't raised in the Harris mansion the world saw on VH1. He says his reality was different, living mostly with his grandmother while the rest of the clan played perfect behind gated walls. And when King talks about his grandmother Diane, everything changes. His tone softens, the anger fades. He calls her mama, credits her with shaping who he is, and even when she checks him in public, he takes it without fighting back. To him, her truth matters more than the whole Harris spotlight combined. That contrast, chaos with his parents, calm with his grandmother, paints a picture that's deeper than any scandal. It shows a young man torn between the world he inherited and the world that actually raised him. The world might remember King as the wild kid with a mouthful of gold, always sparking chaos, always in the headlines, but those closest to him tell a different story because it was never really T.I. or Tiny who held him down. It was his grandmother, the quiet anchor in a storm full of managers, handlers, and flashing cameras. She was the one steady parent figure in a life built more on appearances than stability. The only one who kept it real when everything else felt like a performance. And now those whispers about a secret paternity test, if they're true, that's not just gossip. That's the ticking grenade at the heart of the Harris implosion. On an emotional level, it's the ultimate betrayal. King rejecting the identity his parents spent years building, risking it all just to claim a truth of his own. To him, this wasn't about humiliating anyone. It was a desperate gamble to silence the suspicion that's haunted him since childhood. But with those rumors leaking into the open, the fallout is nothing short of brutal. This isn't some family squabble that can be fixed with a staged group photo or a polished Instagram caption about unity. No, the Harris dynasty looks fractured beyond repair. Every coded lyric King drops, every sly post, every side-eye moment on social media, every ugly spat, it all just reminds the world that his search for truth might come at the cost of reconciliation. If reconciliation is even possible at this point, and the stakes, they go way beyond bruised feelings or broken bonds. The Harris name isn't just about family, it's an empire, with music, TV deals, and business ventures all tied to that brand. If the dynasty collapses, it's not just bloodlines that shatter, it's millions in legacy on the line. A paternity scandal doesn't just bruise egos, it threatens contracts, inheritance, and the entire legacy tied to the Harris name. If King's test results, real or rumored, spark an actual challenge to his place in the bloodline, the fallout could rattle the dynasty all the way down to its financial foundation. And the public, they're tired of the Harris family spin. Every time they pose like nothing's wrong, fans roll their eyes and scroll to the next viral disaster. The deeper you dig, the more their empire looks less like royalty and more like a sandcastle getting washed away by wave after wave of scandal. Remember when VH1 axed their flagship show after those first ugly allegations? I ranted about no integrity and no closure. But let's be real, the cameras never came back. Since then, it's been nothing but lawsuits, court dates, and non-stop headlines dragging their name through the mud. Their attempts at unity, they look faker by the day, posing for baby showers, hyping King singles, swearing they're tied like a knot. But the harder they insist nothing's wrong, the louder the whispers get. Tiny snapping back at blogs, King calling the paternity rumors clickbait. None of it silences the storm. In fact, it just fuels the fire, because the public can smell when a family is hiding something, and this one reeks of secrets they can't keep buried. Now all eyes are locked on Sabrina Peterson. Will her so-called receipts finally blow the lid off this dynasty, or will they just spin the chaos into another wild direction? And what about King? Is he about to torch the family name from the inside out, or end up another cautionary tale, swallowed whole by the very legacy he tried to escape? One thing's crystal clear. The Harris family can't hide behind reality TV magic anymore. The truth has claws, and once it rips its way out, Atlanta's royal family may never recover. The Harris family built their name on image, legacy, and control. But now, that empire looks like it's crumbling right in front of us. Every fight, every rumor, every whisper about paternity tests and hidden skeletons has turned their dynasty into a public soap opera, one they can't just edit or spin their way out of anymore. King Harris isn't backing down. He's torching the script, daring the world to see him outside of his father's shadow, even if it means dragging the whole Harris brand into the fire with him. And the bigger question still hangs heavy. Is this the fall of Atlanta's so-called royal family, or the messy rebirth of a new chapter nobody saw coming? One thing's certain, the truth is clawing its way out, and when it finally breaks, the Harris dynasty will never be the same again. And if you thought this story was wild, just wait, because we're diving even deeper into the scandals shaping hip-hop's biggest names only here on BarzBuzz, where the real drama never sleeps.